Boom. She writes for Pose.
Yeah.
Hey, gang, we figured it out. We made it work. Welcome to Super TV Showdown. Boom, boom.
Bingo, bango. Hold on. Wait. There's no card in here. I did it again.
There you go. Well, we're recording through there, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
Boom.
We did it?
We did it. Hey.
Fish.
How the heck are you?
welcome.
1, 2, 3, wrap.
Yay.
Don't
Three.
you wish we had pumpkin bread?
I would love. Did you get it? No, you got
No.
the coffee.
No.
It's a tea. I told you. I've never tried coffee.
Oh yes, you hate it.
I don't hate it. I've never tried it.
You hate it. Well, you might hate it.
listen,
Honestly, you
You
might
hate
hate
it.
it.
Yeah.
There's a video that went not viral. It was just somebody did a video with iced tea because he had never had coffee before, and his name's
name's Iced Tea.
I know.
And it's another beverage.
So he tried it and he hated it.
Are you
Then
talking about iced tea?
the rapper?
yeah.
And
Slash actor.
slash professional detective on SVU.
Yeah, exactly.
But he tried it, hated coffee black, which I'm like, yeah, if you've never had it and then you have it, it's gonna taste like garbage.
Yeah.
You gotta get that palate. Whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
But when you added milk and sugar and basically just so much flavor in there, it doesn't taste like coffee anymore. It tastes like a sweet treat.
That's what I like, is to have a drink that you have to mask the flavor of. Also, I have not seen Law and Order.
You never watched Law and
I've
Order?
never watched Law and Order.
You never been in the hospital?
Yes. Yeah, when I was in the hospital, I did, but I don't think it was SVU, so I never got to see Ice-T do his thing. However, I did watch New Jack City, which had him as a detective. That was his first acting role, and seeing him as
New Jack City.
it's a Wesley
yeah.
Snipes movie. It's actually pretty solid. But seeing him play undercover detective in that, it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. Isn't that how he got the job on SVU?
I bet. I can almost guarantee. Because it's like, do you buy him as a cop? Do you buy him as an undercover cop? Oh, you know what? I do, actually.
100%.
Yeah, I actually do.
Garth McMurray's with you, Roxy. Not tea only, not coffee. My stepbrother tried to get me into coffee with different styles, and I hated every type.
I can read that with my eyes.
Pretty. Oh, someone's bragging a little
Just
bit.
humble brag.
Who we got there in the chat? Who's joining us today?
Okay, we've got This Is Ewan,
There you go.
Boom.
Danny Boy,
Boom, Danny boy.
Then what are the numbers?
0878.
Boom.
There you go. Nailed it.
One of my eyes was open for that. Liedrick.
The first one, yeah.
Liedrick, the Dragon.
There you go.
Garth McMurray.
Boom. And we got Kayla
And-
Marie.
And the disabled nerd.
007.
007. Yes, Davey likes. Ooh, Davey likes.
Previously,
I wanna know-
Davey Backwards.
Zero.
Dab.
I would like to know in the chat how many people saw Sam's ad, his Jack in the Box ad.
If you did, please retweet it because I
on
want to do
Twitter.
more work with them.
Yeah.
I really, really need y'all to retweet that.
Also, I mean, maybe if
really
he keeps
need
doing
it.
work with them, maybe we can get Jack on the show.
Whoa, dude.
I'm just saying.
I
In
would
the box or out of the box?
Dude, but no, like, can we actually get him to come out of the box, like on
It's
the
okay.
show? That's
It's
a big.
okay,
That's a
Jack.
big
It's
get.
Yeah.
You're ready to be out of the box.
This is a safe Twitch
Think
stream.
out of the box.
Yeah, we can maybe finally get him out of the box.
Look what Drawl said, that I can read with my eyes. That's like some kind of superpower.
It is like a superpower. It's like X-ray vision,
feel so
but
left
just
out.
seeing exactly what's in front.
Garth McMurray says the John Mulaney bit about Law and Order SVU where he imitates Ice-T is awesome, and it's like that either could be awesome or not awesome. But he's saying
Have
it
you
is
seen
awesome. No.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's
That's
like
great.
because Ice-T's whole role is explaining what things are.
Yeah.
And so he's always like, "Wait, are you telling me a pedophile likes to have sex with kids?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, Ice-T." What are you? How are you a detective? And he's like, "Wait, are you telling me a money launderer hid money through a company?" It's like,
You guys go back and forth and name Ice-T songs. DJ.
oh, oops, and
No.
out. The
Sorry.
theme song when he hummed the theme song to SVU. Dum 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 dum.
So this is a great segue into
Thank
we're
you.
doing a special episode today where we're just talking about Law and Order SVU.
Well, the newest ones.
We knew you guys really wanted it.
Yeah,
so.
we were clamoring for it.
You're very welcome.
I have a question. Before we started this episode, you read the article that all our shows are being brought back for another season.
Literally just came out today.
Yeah. So my question to you all is: do you think any of these shows will have supernatural staying power? And by that I mean the show Supernatural's supernatural staying power of
anything
you said
can do 15 seasons.
15 seasons? I thought Smallville had a good run. 15 seasons.
That was the longest running sci-fi show before Supernatural.
What was
Oh
it,
my
11
God.
seasons?
10.
10.
11
Which
in the
feels
comics.
like 5 seasons too many. You know what I mean? Of any other show. Every show should be about 5 seasons.
I think theoretically, of all of the shows, Flash would be the one that I would have thought would have been able to run the longest
Except
by
that-
concept.
By concept, except that The cast seems tired. It seems like-
There's 50,000 accepts that. Like, except that we've run out of speedsters that we're okay with them using, except that the cast doesn't seem like they want to be there anymore, except that we've gone through we went through Flashpoint, which could have taken us 2 seasons in 1 episode.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many excepts that. So by concept, it would have been that, but by execution, I don't think so. Maybe Supergirl?
No, that one. But personally, I don't see that one. What I would love is Legends of Tomorrow. I want them to kind of just keep doing that forever and ever. I want my kids to watch the new seasons of Legends of Tomorrow with
you
me.
could keep switching out characters and stuff like that. They've got enough supporting. I
It seems like
agree.
it costs so much money to make that show.
Yeah, just keep
And
doing
nobody
Marvel
watches
episodes.
it. I don't know anybody but us that watches Legends of Tomorrow.
That's
AV
a
Club
shame.
reviews it.
That's a shame. I would think, honestly, maybe, even though it feels like, I guess with the tease of Crisis of Infinite Earths, it feels like they're kind of wanting out. I feel like Arrow could, but I think the front runner, no pun intended, would be Flash. Except that everybody on the show seems tired. That's the big one to me. Is everybody on the show seems a little tired.
And that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks that they seem
because
tired.
the people in Supernatural don't seem tired of that show.
No, they're
they
having a
love
blast.
that shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that and I don't know because I'm not a fan of that show. Not because I'm not a fan, just because I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Same, right?
You
Like,
missed the boat to
Yeah,
join.
people are like, you should check it out. 15 seasons deep. Sorry, no, thank you.
I can't do that.
I
It would
tried.
literally take me years. But
To be fair, though, hold on. You got through all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in like 2 weeks. So
but that's a quick show to binge. That's
it's still 2 weeks. Come on,
I
man.
guess. But the fans of Supernatural that are it's like they're in their own cult. Like they get it. Nobody else seems to. Their conventions are Looney Tunes.
They have their own conventions? Of course they do.
And like the fans, they go nutso. And Flash fans, yes, of course they go nutso, but I feel like it's all DC CW TV show fans.
Yeah.
And they all kind of get mixed into one, and Flash doesn't know where it really stands. As opposed to Supernatural, where it's like the fans bow down to them. So I think it's a different kind of reception and love that they're getting. And also, I don't know if any of the actors on that show have gotten the kind of offer, like somebody like a Grant Gustin. I'm sure he's sitting there like, I could be a movie star.
Yeah.
That's what I should be
way.
doing.
He was in a.
I'm not saying that he could.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think he thinks that.
He could do some tours on Broadway because he already did that. Like I
Yeah.
feel like he could get a good little spot right there, which
Yeah.
is not a bad place to
No.
be. Or the best friend in movies. That's also not a bad place to be. But you know what is not also a good place to be is National City. Let's go ahead and talk about Supergirl.
Good
Boom,
transition, go
Boom, boom. Set me up.
transition.
Let's
me
boom, 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 boom.
Boom. Oh my God. Do you know that Boom Boom was my sorority?
Oh, hit it. You can hit it. You can hit it.
theme?
Yeah.
You didn't care.
Nailed it.
That's how you do
That
it.
that was on me. Sorry, guys.
No, all
care
good.
at all.
You were in sorority and it was called Boom Boom.
Oh,
I heard it. It just takes me a long time because I'm a little slow.
you feel so.
So
left
this
out.
episode of Supergirl is episode 11 of season 4, Blood Memory. Kara joins Nia on a trip to Nia's hometown to visit her family during the town's annual Harvest Festival. While home, Nia's mother encourages her daughter to embrace her destiny. Meanwhile, Alex deals with a street drug that is turning people violent and giving them temporary superpowers. How'd I do?
Really good.
Pretty good.
All right, good.
Important
Pretty good.
question that I have never remembered to ask you guys. If you go back to the Supergirl slate, is her eyes closed or is she looking at something?
I think
Yeah.
eyes closed.
Eyes closed,
She's being ruminative.
or she's reading the S on her chest.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah.
She forgot.
She forgot.
It's
The
one of
house.
those when you
Just
see
for
it
a
upside
second.
down, you're like, wait, I get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's me.
Maybe this was, I'm going to be honest up front, this episode was kind of a uh-oh for me. And I think maybe...
So, Carl saw us in the chat. Couldn't care less about this episode.
and I think maybe the alarm bells went off when, Red Daughter got shocked back, and then the
When her
lightning
nose
bolts...
bled?
Yeah, and the lightning bolts went across the planet and made drugs supercharged. I was like, wait,
Like
what's
literally
happening?
across the planet, just this one random trailer.
What?
And they made
And hit the
and now,
pills.
and now
Yeah.
people become hulked out.
Yeah.
Literally, because they call it, they say it's gamma rays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was that?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
also had no relevance to so much of our episode. Like we
Yeah.
spend a lot of times with those characters. Are we ever going to see them again?
No.
Nope.
Like that girl that stole the van.
No, definitely not. No, I hope we don't, because I don't really want
Why
to know
did we
more.
spend 35 minutes of the episode with her?
Because you got it. Because there's a parallel between
Guys, she
Alex
had a hard
and
life. Her brother
Listen.
was not attentive.
Listen,
Yes,
it's not like
see?
Nia's backstory would have benefited from a little extra time to flesh things out. All
in
right.
her weird cult town where everybody's accepted, and spiders are crazy fucking deadly.
I love Nia, and I could have, and I know you were making a joke, I could have done with 3 episodes of backstory because we were thrown into this so quickly. I degaff about her mom and her sister, who I've never met before.
Can we get some love for DGAF in the chat, by the way? I haven't heard that in a minute, and I love it. I forgot that I used to say that a lot.
I thought this might have been a me thing, but maybe it wasn't a me thing. Did any of you, when you're first introduced to parents and they're really into their radishes, did anybody else want to just immediately get out? Like, you know what? Thanks, but I'm out of here.
Like, this does not feel like a utopian state to me.
Yeah,
this
no,
feels like hell.
Yeah, this feels like a nightmare to me.
You take your radishes and
Yeah.
you throw them at each
You
other
shove them up
right
your
now.
goddamn
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It felt like the beginning of Get Out, where it's just like, yeah, man, we're so excited.
I would have voted for Obama a third time.
It's like, you know what? I think I'm good. Y'all are gonna brain swap me with somebody. I'm
That's
out
one
of
of
here.
the best written lines that there ever was.
Yeah, I'm like, who's the actor who delivers that from West Wing?
Yeah, he's from West Wing and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I met him at the Get Out little
Is it cool,
junket.
dude?
Yeah,
Is
he's
it
very nice. He was the only one who actually took a photo with me.
Nice.
So
Name
yes, very nice.
Hi.
Daniel
Either-
Kaluuya was like, get out of here.
He seemed tired. He seemed tired.
Oh.
But we have in the chat in our Discord, which you can join by going to patreon.com/onlystupid Boom. And we have Zral13, who's also joining us live. I like getting to
and
see.
says that I'm a superhero.
Boom, exactly. And they like getting to see more of Nia and her background. I agree with you. That lines up with what everyone said. And interesting, before we got, there's a middle point where spiders got involved, where I thought the episode was fine.
We could have had a whole episode just explaining the spiders in this town.
Yeah, but before that, I liked that we had we could see what her dreams look like, and they're really ambiguous, and you have to there's a lot of interpretation that goes into it, and then the spiders came, and we went to Dream Heaven
Why
where
are
we.
should've
why are
known
you
the spiders
multiple
were-
spidering? Is it
Well,
not
there's
just
cobwebs, and there has to be more than one of them, unless it's like an alien spider. And even then, they probably had parents.
Would
Are you
it
talking
have-
about the mama spider, or are you talking about the dream spiders?
Both, because the dream
'Cause there was
spiders
only
led to the
one
real
spider on the mama,
The
right?
tiniest little spider, that instant death.
instant
Yeah.
death. Black Widow.
I have so many issues with this. There were just so many stupid things. It's like if you are able to be Nia and dream any kind of thing, and this show has the money to spend on those sequences and makes everything look amazing, you guys couldn't think of something a little more creative than she was bit by a tiny spider in your utopian town and immediately died.
Yeah, man.
It should look kind of like.
couldn't do
Yeah.
she was hit by a car.
Or
well,
maybe
they did the bullet where she got herself out of cuffs with a bullet. I would have loved a sequence like that was in Nick Cage's next movie, which is not an awful movie. It's not great, but it's the same premise as those powers that he sees the future only like in little glimpses.
Yeah.
What movie are you talking about?
Next, where he was able to see what comes next, but before.
I liked next.
Next.
I mean, come on, man.
It's a fucking
I blew
awful
that one.
movie. You blew it.
I blew it.
So that part was interesting, and I wanted to get to know her more, and then it got into weird territory. But also, we did get to spend time with Alex with the removal of Supergirl and being a big part of her life, which in theory could have been
Yeah.
really interesting. It's like, no, you took away like one of the biggest influences in her life, which was she grew up with an alien sister.
Yeah, I think I like this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
think I
exactly
like
how you
this.
phrase that.
Yeah, I think I
Because
like that.
The concept that Alex is no longer who she is because she wasn't introduced at a young age to the acceptance of having a sister who is Supergirl
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. I don't love the execution of it as of now because they're not leaning into it the way that I want them to, and instead they're just forcing it a little bit where all of a sudden Alex like, gosh, Supergirl, don't do that.
Yeah.
So does she not have a memory of ever working with Supergirl, like at all, or is it just the memory that Kara is Supergirl? So that's why it's
which is
complicated.
So murky.
That's why.
It's so murky.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seemed like she was like a dick now, and it's like.
So how were
okay.
you? How did you think, Alex, you were treating Supergirl for the last 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
JC, just curious.
just
Yeah.
curious. It's
Yeah.
I was trying to do what I did with DGAF, didn't land.
No, it worked.
One thing I did like about part of this is everybody's telling Supergirl like, "Oh, you don't understand," and it was it was a good little reminder of like, don't assume somebody's situation. Don't assume you do understand. Also, don't necessarily assume somebody else just doesn't understand your situation because they might. You know what I mean? They might.
In which situation?
Oh, because both Dreamer
Yeah.
and Alex are both like, you don't understand what it's like to be on this side of thing. It's like, well, hold on a second. Actually, I kind of do. Don't make assumptions about me. Flip side is don't assume you do understand somebody's situation.
In Alex's situation, I agree with what you're saying, but Dreamer was assuming that she wasn't a superhero. I think that's a fair assumption.
And having a half alien mom and having dream powers and you see the future and
Yeah,
it's her fault her mom's dead, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
It's
blah.
like low-key, I'm sorry not to blame her, but it's not totally your fault that your mom's dead. It's not a nice thing to say.
She didn't bring the spider.
You didn't do it on purpose, but like, you know, if you could have found a way to tell your sister earlier what was up.
And that's the thing. As stupid as the spider thing is, I felt like what they were building towards they wanted to accomplish two things. They wanted to have the moment in the dream where the mom was like, "You were destined to be my daughter," because it is a powerful line in a vacuum, without the rest of the episode, and the line of the sister's rejection of her because that comes from a place of she'd been preparing her whole life for this thing, and she projects her frustration in her sister's situation, but it's coming more of a place of like, you should have told me sooner, because I was starting to be worried about me, and it was messing with my situation, and maybe we could help mom if you told me.
Oh,
you
if
know
I was
what
the sister, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I would have been really pissed. Now,
You might
I
not
wouldn't
have
have
said
been.
what
I
she
wouldn't have
said,
been
yeah.
pissed in the way she was.
You
pissed.
probably would have been more like, "Hey, motherfucker, I'm your sister.
Tell me this
shit.
so that we could work together."
Yeah.
But I feel like
we
even
could be
if
a dream team." Boom.
even if Nia had told her sister,
Damn,
I
that would've been
still
a great
think
name.
I know.
her sister still would have been pissed. And
Yeah.
I think this show is trying to make social commentary that liberals are liberals until they're not liberal. Like, this is showing that she is this open sister who's been this like amazing influence, and they live in this city that's accepting and ready for whatever, to live with aliens and humans alike, and they have a trans daughter that they're totally like loving and caring with until they're not. And I think that this show is trying to make commentary on that in general.
I don't know if they have the runway or the firepower
But
to do that.
it so didn't land with me
No.
because I was just like, oh wow, what you just said, sister, was so wrong. You've totally lost me.
I guess maybe partially because the whole neighborhood felt manufactured. It's like, this doesn't feel
Real.
This doesn't even feel like Mayberry. Like this doesn't feel like any. This doesn't even feel like a TV town. So it's hard. I do like the idea.
It felt eerie, kind
Yeah,
of.
right. Like you're just
Because they
waiting for them to
all wore the same shawls to a funeral. That's super weird.
Where,
That's a
and all
super
wearing
weird
white
thing.
to the funeral.
Yeah.
They said they're like, we do this because, and I was like tuned out after
Yeah.
the word because.
It felt like if you guys ever watched The Path on Hulu, which is about a cult, it felt like the little community that they had.
that
It's like, oh,
Aaron
this is-
Paul's show.
Yeah, the first season was good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I won't check it out. I haven't.
yeah.
Supernatural.
First season was good.
It's just supernatural spinoffs.
There was only 3 seasons. It wasn't 15. There's less to catch up on.
But the other 2 seasons are not good.
I didn't watch the third one. Maybe that's
okay.
good. The second one was not as good.
I think we're kind of winding down because there's not too much else to happen this episode besides the Agents of Liberty showing up one more time. They've been out of
No.
the game for a little bit.
The scary German shepherds.
But we were talking about this before the episode started. Because of the lesson they were trying to teach here and trying to show a part of the world where they're not accepting of trans people or weaponizing the fact that they are that to try to like bring them down. They try to do that in this episode, and I feel like they whiffed it. I just wanted to say that because we did talk.
Yeah.
There's a big conversation, and I think what we came to the decision as before that is that maybe we're not equipped to
Yeah,
have
just
to dissect what this means in a proper
But
way.
I think that's a problem that the show.
It is a problem,
The show
yeah.
is trying to open doors to communication and conversations, and that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're actually doing is making it so that it's a little confusing. We have questions, and we don't know if we are able to ask those questions or talk about it.
Yeah, because
So-
part of it is they're marrying her position as a trans person in with
Her powers.
her magic sci-fi gobbledygook abilities, and so it's like, well, could she just be like Supergirl's a girl with these powers? Couldn't Nia also be just a girl with these powers? Like,
Right.
you could separate them. You know what I mean? And
Totally.
I think I was coming into this hoping that this show would be kind of like subtle and nuanced and thoughtful. And that's not really what Supergirl is. And I should have known that going in. That's not what most superhero shows are not. I learned that from Punisher too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still haven't watched that. I
It's
would
okay.
love to hear from members of the LGBTQ plus community and see how do they think this show is handling Nia's character.
Yeah,
because
hopefully.
I really, maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe we're dead wrong. It feels to me like they're not doing it justice right now, the situation, but like
not whiffing it, but yeah, they're not like it since we have questions and then don't feel like we can ask about it because it feels so complicated.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm a minute away from saying something offensive, so I don't want to do that.
And you're like, no, my heart. I'm in the right place. Oh God, like I feel the same way. So honestly, I'm really curious what people think out there.
Yeah, because hopefully people, the actress that plays Nia is trans. Hopefully, a part of the creative process they involve trans people, and hopefully the people of that community who enjoys Supergirl and its style of storytelling feel included and feel like it reflects them. And
you'd have to assume they're talking to her, but then again, she's also not the spokesperson, so she might feel one way, and then other people in the trans community might feel totally different.
Yeah.
I never want to have to be the spokesperson for any community I'm a part of, because I know tons of times I say something about Jewish people and other Jewish people disagree, and I'm like, I wasn't speaking for all the Jews. There's too many of us.
That's there's a problem. You can't do it that way. But last thing I want to bring up, Christoph628 says, what about how Jimmy dealt with the news story about L Corp? That was such a small part of this episode.
Wait, I don't even remember what we're talking about.
He buried a story. What
he did, and he stood up for Lena, or like pretended he didn't know something.
It was at least something interesting for him to do.
I think don't do that, bro.
Yeah, I think that's bad news bears, straight up. That's bad news.
We don't know where it goes, but it's planting a seed for something that, like you said, could be interesting. But oh my God, don't do that.
He likes smushing Lena. I get it, but
she is hot, and game night's cool.
Game night is
cool, and that was kind of cute. That was kind of cute. I will also say the Russian people call an American contact who 100% has to be Lex Luthor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, has to be. At the end,
if it wasn't, then what?
What are we doing? What are we doing? It's John Cryer.
Yeah.
It's his 2.5 Men character, and he knows Lex Luthor.
Whoa. They all but winked at us.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I was just thinking, just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it. Say what you mean to say. Communication.
Yeah, Lance Center saying, yeah, it's got to be Lex. And with that, out of 10 Lexes, what would you give this episode?
Well, that feels kind of backwards. Out of 10 Lexes.
Yeah.
Because then, I don't know.
How about out of 10 crazy murderous spiders? We should really look into that situation.
Wear long socks in that town, you idiots. What are you doing? It killed her in 10 seconds.
Wait, Echo Spide says, have we got to Red Sun Supergirl yet? I think we said it really quick because then she was.
It was so
like,
confusing.
Out.
Yeah.
She flew, got knocked out. Her
nose bled.
Purple radiation juice made some pills across the fucking planet.
And then they need Supergirls to what? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I actually don't know what I even was trying to go for.
Out of 10 spiders, I give it a 7, maybe.
That's higher than I thought you'd give it. I'd give it like a 6.5.
I give it a 6.5 also.
I'll line up with you guys.
The only thing giving it even that high is the fact that I really like Nia and Kara's dynamic.
Yeah.
And I like to see where Alex is going to go from here.
Me too, but the actual episode...
I liked last week, though. Last week was really good. I liked last week.
That's not how we rate these.
No, it is not how we rate them. But let's go ahead and move on to episode 5. Oh, wait, that's 512. That's how you say it. Of Flash. Memorabilia. When Sherlock wants to use a memory machine on Barry and Nora to help gain access to Grace's memories. Nora panics, fearing her parents will find out the secret she's been keeping from them. Nora secretly decides to use the machine on her own, which ends in disaster after she gets trapped inside Grace's mind. Barry and Iris go in after their daughter, and Iris is broken-hearted by what she finds out. Is that a word? Broken-hearted? Yeah. Meanwhile, Ralph tricks Cisco into going out for a night on the town. Just a couple boys being boys.
I'm so annoyed with Grace.
Why? What? That was quick. You don't like Grace? She's in a coma. What are you mad about?
She's the most annoying character.
Really?
Are you kidding?
I mean, she kind of doesn't do anything. She's just sleeping.
Must kill.
Oh, no. Cicada is the one where they had him redo that line that was like, oh, Metas must die.
Yeah.
And then he redid it in this. I'm like, a little bit better.
Yeah,
Let's do it a third time.
Yeah,
it's not the actress that I have a problem with. It's not even the character I have a problem with. It's just like,
She's a little messed up in the head.
Yeah.
Turns out she's a little messed up in the head.
This is why you have to raise your kids well, parents.
Yeah, or else they become little serial killers.
Her parents got squished by Metas, and
okay, fine.
then
you have to raise your kids well, Uncle.
Then they dropped the satellite on her head.
Yeah, man, she's got a rough go of it. Yeah. Roxy probably feels super embarrassed now. She got squished parents. But also,
I am so embarrassed.
Psy0008 says a favorite episode. They really like the show, but they agree with you about Grace. So.
Just yeah.
Also, I am not in love with Nora. Whole like, I gotta keep this secret from the parents. Like, oh, come on, man.
Well, the conclusion
We've got
she comes
3
to.
seasons of this bullshit. Come on, man.
I love
them
you enough
secrets.
to keep a secret from you.
Yeah.
If you ever have to say that sentence out loud,
No.
you're doing it wrong.
No,
You're doing
You know
it
what it's
wrong.
kind of. You know what it's kind of like. There's like a bunch of these songs, but there's a new popular one where it's basically like, hey, I want you to be happy, and I love you so much that I'm going to leave you to make you happy. It's like, ooh, guess what? Not your call. That's not how things work.
If you love them, set them free.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, doesn't make quite sense.
You're making a decision for
Yeah.
them. They need to be able to make that call.
You're speaking my language.
Well, you guys aren't thinking of the classic scenario where one person in the relationship has a very deadly disease, so they have to go to leave them to be happy. That's probably what those songs are talking about.
all of them,
You fools.
everyone.
You don't understand young people.
You fools.
You fools. Okay, so we'll kick it off. There's a lot of hate going around about Grace. I actually really like this episode.
This episode was bomb. I thought it was awesome.
I am confused now. I really
With my
like
opinion?
No, just because I like Grace in this episode. I actually thought I liked because these shows are like, what if this person's journey as a character is like this person's journey as a character? And in this one, I actually thought it was like, I actually like what you were. I like that they set up. It's like Cicada disappeared, but then came back, and we still couldn't get him because Grace got some goop in her forehead, the same goop that her uncle has. Chances of that
Also,
happening.
What's the name of that
question.
goop?
I wanna,
Satellite goop.
Yeah, quick question. When the nurse is like working with her and like putting a blank over it, she has a glowing part of her head. Was that for us as the audience, or could the nurse look at her and be like, wait a second, her head's glowing?
That's for us because she's had a bandage on her head since
Gotcha.
the accident. We haven't seen
we
haven't seen her for it. It's a big reveal.
So the nurses know that there's a part of her head that glows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's what I gathered.
All right, cool.
Bit of a Harry Potter situation.
Yeah,
I
been there,
really,
done that.
my favorite part of this episode was the realization that Nora might be completely misremembering how things actually were with Iris.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I agree.
Because Nora kind of sucks, you know?
Well, Nora, I'm obsessed with her character because I think, first of all, the actress actually cares, and you can see it's still there.
Yeah.
But the fact that we've been sitting here being like, how did Iris turn out this way? And I'm sure it's not 100% how that Iris was amazing, but somewhere in between, because people's perception on what actually happened is sometimes not accurate. It's why eyewitness accounts are not valid sometimes, because like you just, when you think about your childhood, you feel things that weren't necessarily there. That was such an interesting tackle that I did not see coming.
I 100% agree. We've done these going into that. We've literally gone in people's minds before. I totally forgot about that. I was thinking about going into, they went into the Speed Force, and they saw Eddie, and they saw other speedsters in there, and they had to deal with those problems. Classic Flash.
Classic.
I thought this was a nice turn on that. Also, I like the reveal that since it's in the mind, things aren't exactly the way they're supposed to play out. Like when Nora noticed, it's like the dollhouse looks too specific. It's like this where we are right now is too perfect, and that dollhouse looks kind of gross. Why is it the opposite? And I like that because when she noticed it, it didn't fully click for me that it was the reverse of that. I thought, I'm like, oh, that's probably going to play. It's going to be a tool later to help them get out. I like the way they played that out. I like seeing the Flash Museum. Also, I saw, before I watched the episode, Joshua Williamson, the current writer of the Flash for DC Comics.
Yeah.
A lot of his original stories were featured in that store.
Cool.
So seeing him get excited about that, I'm like, oh, that made me
There was
made me
also
happy.
a nice comic cover of Jeff Johns' run where Cicada showed up. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
he created the character, right?
Yes.
Oh, do you have a little picture of him?
None of that, but it was just the thing that we could.
Oh, this
All right,
is
so
a cool
here we go.
one.
So
the villains area of the museum was pretty cool.
Everybody was super excited about Red Death.
He's right. Who's Red Death?
These Dark Knight's Metal Flash.
That's Red Death. Oh, it is Red Death. Yeah, yes, it is.
Cool, another evil speedster that's not Barry, but is Barry.
But
cool.
it's Batman.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
It's Batman. Yes,
not
it
gonna
is. It's gonna be Batwoman though.
I mean, actually, I'd be more interested in that. If we're being honest.
Poo-pooing it too quick.
Or maybe that's why Ben Affleck is not going to be in the Batman. So
Zoom,
he can
zoom.
show
We should
up
have talked
on
about
The
that at the
Flash.
beginning. Oh, sure. That's
Yeah.
big fucking cumbersome metal
He's
costume.
just gonna look.
It's
He's
gonna
gonna
be-
take it off and say, "I'm Batman, bitch,"
And then-
and leave.
That is
Sparto
the-
kicks Barry into the next universe.
Can't wait that they get him for one episode. The rest of the time, it's Toby Jones doing the voice. Well, it
And
was
then
Tony Todd. That's who it was.
Hello Darkness, my old friend, plays for his exit, and that's the last
That's
we ever
how
saw
his
of him.
career gets back on top, baby. Affleck's
Baby.
back.
Yeah.
All right, so
That
getting
would
back.
do a ratings boost for this show, I think.
I think so.
You think? Yeah, I think,
Getting-
I think maybe.
Getting Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
How many millions more do you think would watch that episode if they heard that happen?
It'd be so weird.
Yeah.
It'd be so weird. Actually,
Maybe for Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Bradley Cooper didn't save that one Limitless show though, so
It's true.
It's
That's true.
complicated, but I enjoyed where I agree with you, Roxy, when it came to like them kind of having to piece apart or break apart Nora's memory of what her mom was like. I like that. I like that if you were a kid and there's a museum to your dad, you'd be there all the time. And I like that how she connected as a kid to Eobard. It's like he was a bad person. Obviously, you wouldn't tell your daughter like right out the gate that like, yeah, that man murdered your grandma. Like, I get why you didn't do that. So she doesn't have that way of figuring out that that's a bad person.
Well, she also didn't even know her dad was the Flash.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
in
said-
that?
Yeah, 'cause she makes reference to, like,
she
my
said,
dad-
well, he loved the Flash. He was
Yeah.
a fan of his,
You said
and so
you
am
said
I.
my dad was the Flash's biggest fan.
Fan,
Something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Which, like,
Missed that part.
theoretically is very self-centered.
Well, he's just a big supporter. I
Your
like.
dad is the biggest Flash fan. He loved himself.
He was way into the Flash Museum when he got there. He was way into it.
I would come on.
Yeah,
you'd
I
be
know,
too.
I know,
There's
I
action
know.
figures
Yeah.
there, and they had like his suit, and they had the comic book version
Yeah.
of it. It was pretty cool.
They went to the little DC office room and pulled all the Flash toys out.
We've
of
gotten
there.
some stuff out
Yeah.
of there.
At what point
It's
do
a
you
magical
think-
room. Let's
It
just
is.
say it's a magical room.
At what point do you guys think Nora found out Barry was the Flash? Did Iris tell her?
Probably.
Or did Iris never tell her and she found out from Thawne?
I think
maybe.
that. I think it's beep beep that one because she
beep that.
Then she found out that she had a,
the chip that Iris put in her to take away her powers.
Exactly. Oh, right there.
Do you think it was on her shoulder? I was
She
thinking-
went like this. She went.
Oh.
What if I just pull up my nip right now? It's right there. There. What was I going to say? Oh, how can Barry and Iris still not understand that Nora's clearly hiding something from Swanman 85? It was cool to see Thawne's suit walking around like a suit of armor. You said like Scooby
Yeah,
Doo.
like the Scooby Doo suit of armor. At first, when I was watching it, and it just turns and looks, and I thought that was going to be it. And I'm like, that's so stupid.
I actually
And then it was going around doing stuff. I'm like, all right, okay.
It's cleaning.
Exactly. It's doing chores as long as it's pulling its weight.
What
you
a
know?
nightmare in a museum in the future. It's like, these were terrorists, but their costumes walk around and you can take pictures with them. What an absolute
scary.
night. Zoom was a murderer,
Yeah.
and you have his costume. You built
That's
it.
like
Yeah.
Black Mirror episode stuff.
Yeah.
To answer that question, I think you said it was Swan Man who asked it. I think it actually makes perfect sense because you do not see your family for who they are for so long sometimes. Like, I remember being an adult and learning that my parents smoked pot and being like, not knowing that because you don't see it and then realizing like,
Everything you knew was a lie.
no, not everything I knew was a lie, but like, duh, my house smelled like pot. Like there was like little leaves ever. Like you just, I was like, oh, parents don't smoke weed. Like that
Yeah, it's
doesn't
like-
happen.
You had a skunk
You
problem.
Just
It's
don't
like one of
see-
those-
Yeah, you don't see it until you know something. So I feel like with Barry and Iris, they don't thinking that Nora has a secret because they just aren't seeing her as a person. They're seeing her as their daughter, and that's it. So
And also, they're big dummies when the show wants them to
and
be.
they're morons.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Barry is a detective, and somehow we forget that. Also, I don't. I think you guys were maybe a little bit more annoyed with Sherlock before.
And Watson?
And that's the part where I lost it. I was like, oh god, this is so stupid. The machine de mémoire.
But did they make him French just because he can't do a British accent? He's like, he can do French better. Is that the reasoning you
he
think?
did a British accent, didn't he?
Yeah,
He did a German accent. I'm sorry, there's so
British
many.
is so much easier than French.
I can't do any. So,
Let's
Also,
hear it.
Mad Hatter nod.
oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that
little-
Mad Hatter.
yeah,
No,
little
that was
Mad-
cool.
Mad
Little
Hatter.
Gotham, wink, wink.
That was cool. I like that. There was a question here from say 00 some amount of zeros 8. Should we trust Thawne? I don't.
No, the bad guy, and he's got a bad blonde wig.
Yeah. Also, I was just thinking, how cool would it be if DC had a mandate of like all of our shows will have at least one cameo of Brett Kavanaugh as like Gotham. He shows up in like 5 minutes of Gotham as a different Harrison in that world. In Krypton, he's
Tom.
a Kryptonian.
Tom Kavanaugh.
Tom
I was
Kavanaugh.
Brett
I was
Kavanaugh.
like, Brett
Oh, did I say? I'm
was the
sorry.
Supreme Court guy that we were in trouble with.
That's why I literally was like, Brett Kavanaugh. Is
was
he
like-
also an actor on our show?
Which Batman villain was he on Gotham? Is he Penguin? He's probably Penguin.
I thought I'd never have to
thanks
hear
for-
that name again.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I worked backwards, obviously. I got Kavanaugh in there, and then I had to go.
Yeah. No, at least you were paying attention to the news.
Yeah.
Sorry, what you were proposing though with Tom Kavanaugh
yeah.
was interesting.
But I was proposing what you were proposing
Yeah.
with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
So who really is the winner here?
By the way, there's a thing trending right now, a video, I think I sent it to you, of Adam West on the Batman 66 show on a phone call as Bruce Wayne and Batman, and it's wonderful if you guys want to go watch that. But
Did you see the other video they posted right after that of where Joker's on the phone with Batman, and then he turns around and Batman's right there?
that show's a goddamn treasure.
It is.
It's pretty great.
Roxy, the people are demanding a British accent. You prepare your...
All right, we're going to give you a countdown.
I'll do a British off with you.
Oh, I can't. Well, you would win, but go ahead. You go
Pip,
first.
You got Pip.
I got Pip. Go
All right,
ahead.
Roxy, 3,
First
Well,
up.
maybe I'll read
Two.
the next thing. What do I say?
1.
Hello. My name is Roxy, and I'm sitting here talking about memorabilia with my friends who are lovely people.
Roxy wins. Sam, go.
Oh, yeah. Warning. I'm going to have an aneurysm if I keep trying.
His face. Oh, it's making me nervous.
Yeah, I know.
Harry Potter. That's all I got.
Harry Potter.
Wait, I did listen to the Beatles talk for a while. Hold on, they got the. I'm sorry, gang. I can't do it. I can't. I'm gonna let you down.
Real quick, speaking of British,
Sam's gonna poop trying to do an accent. I'm sorry.
Speaking of accents, I just watched an awesome movie on Amazon Prime. It's a Steven Soderbergh joint from 1999, I think, called The Limey. Really good.
Does it have Grant Gustin in it?
It does not have Grant Gustin in it. Yeah.
He wasn't born yet.
It does have Zod, Terrence Stamp. He's the main character. His daughter.
Brett Kavanaugh.
No, sorry. I'm so embarrassed about that. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
I know, really quick. The only Zod I care
Because I
about.
also didn't want to ever have to remember that either, and I did it to myself.
You did it to yourself.
What's that? What's
the
that
worst
meme?
crimes
Like,
are done on yourself.
What's that meme? It's like, oh, you played yourself.
Yeah.
The only Zod
What
I
is
care
Sam
about is
doing?
Mark Gibbon. Jesus, he's the one who played on Supergirl for 1 second.
Okay.
That joke took way too long. God damn
When
it.
you have to take that long to get there and then explain it after
It's
you
always
said it,
worth
it's
it.
worth it.
Let's go ahead and rate this episode.
I think Pat wants to join us.
Out
You
of
want to come in?
what do you got? You want to talk
What
about
do you
Supergirl?
think of Supergirl, and how is your British accent?
There's a ditto outside, and I know you need it, and I just...
What's a
Wait,
ditto?
hold on.
No, don't even. It's ditto.
You're a gamer, you know.
You immediately said it wrong. Don't take this from me.
I'm
out
a
of
gamer.
so out of 10 dittos, what would we give this episode of Flash?
Oh, you probably give it a
No, I can't watch.
8.5 out of 10.
Where
It's Australian, 100%.
where are you
That's
from?
all I
Yeah,
got.
what's
Down
your...
under.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. What would you give it?
I'm gonna give this probably an 8.5.
Pretty good.
All right.
Pretty.
You guys talked me up. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Wow, you gave it pretty low.
I was feeling ambivalent on it, but you guys made me like it more based off your
Don't
positivity.
you love when that happens?
Yeah.
Also, you want to go to the Flash Museum. I know you do. There is a museum in Star Labs that we just don't know when it takes care of anymore. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. They have hologram
Is it in the
Cisco's.
pipeline?
Yeah.
No, it's in the front because the
Oh yeah.
well
H.G.
Wells.
Yeah.
That's his name. That's
Yeah.
that
Was
character.
it
Yeah.
HG?
H.G. Wells.
No.
No.
Yeah.
HR.
HR.
God, that's
Yeah.
so dumb. Why didn't you just call him HG and we move on?
You said it, and then you said yeah, but just because you say yeah doesn't mean you're right, and that's a lesson for you kids.
That's a lesson for you kids.
Lee Poole says, "Hey, Roxy, Sam, and DJ, you are my DC Justice
Thank you.
League trio. Thank you,
Who-
HR
you.
Wells.
Do you need to get that ditto?
Who am I in the Justice League?
Wonder Woman.
Hot girl.
Dang.
Oh, if you're at the Trinity.
That's the meanest thing you. That was so mean.
Listen, Hawkgirl was great on the Justice League cartoon.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I actually
And
don't
the
think
actress-
she's the one that Sierra Renee did not butcher the hot girl role. The hot girl role was butchered before Sierra got her hands on it.
Boom.
Don't forget that, people. She's a Broadway star.
I'm Blue Beetle, but not the one with the suit. I'm the one that doesn't have any powers and kind of gets killed a lot.
Oh, good for you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you're
You have to tell me. I don't know.
Metamorpho,
That's
or
fine. Except that he's in pain all the time, apparently.
not a fun place to
Yeah.
be.
You
know,
guys tell us. We don't need to tell ourselves.
yeah.
Another fun place to not be is dead on a boat. Let's talk about Arrow.
Yeah.
A pretty good segue. Blew it. I blew it. Let's
It's
talk
all good,
about
it's all good.
season 7, episode 11, Past Sins. I feel like we've already
In the
had
accent?
The past. Nope. The past comes back to haunt both Oliver and Laurel. Curtis is upset when he discovers that Diggle and Lila have restarted the Ghost Initiative with Diaz, China White, Kane Wolfman, and Carrie Cutter. I'm a disappointment, I know.
Because Marv Wolfman, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, and Bob Kane.
I'm China
Nice.
White.
Or, yeah, Bob Kane.
This was better than I thought it was going to be.
I actually I dug this
Yeah.
episode a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm really into the episodes where they don't do the flash forwards.
Yeah.
The flash forwards really drag down this season.
Yeah, totally. And I really liked his simulation, the whatever.
Yeah, except it didn't accomplish what he wanted to accomplish because they're still going to do the...
At all.
Yeah.
It didn't
Okay.
accomplish it at all, but I liked
Not-
that we did that.
Not to be this guy.
But you are.
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay.
He says, I rewrote the bomb protocol in your brain
Yeah.
and put a VR system inside.
Yes.
So it's like you said, I rewired the toaster to be a DVR recorder.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
the
what it's like.
same thing.
Uh-huh.
He's
Which
the
makes
third
perfect sense.
smartest man in the world,
That's
Sam.
We have not
Perfect
established that in
sense.
this show because he's been stabbed a lot.
Sense. I understand.
Also, if you needed a better example of why you should probably give Diaz a bomb in his brain, the way that VR system played out felt like a pretty good, like, yeah, maybe we should have a bomb. I know you're poo-pooing it, but I wouldn't mind if that guy had a bomb in his head.
Speaking of poo, just so you know, Sam, the guy in the little chat whose name you don't get, it's actually pronounced Lil Poo.
Lil Poo.
No, Lil, like it's little, like
yeah.
Lil
Lil
Poo.
Poo.
Lil Poo.
Lil Poo.
Lil
How much poo do you have? Lil Poo.
Lil. Roxy's
Lil Poo.
Artemis. Ooh, Danny Boy says Roxy is Artemis from Young Justice. Do you agree with that? You don't like that show.
I don't love it,
And you
but
don't.
being Artemis is cool.
Nice.
So-
they kind of blew that character out of the water on this show. But I
Yeah.
do like Emiko, which I think is still. I think Emiko is. The basically, I think they're written the same. And hearing them say it again in this episode, I'm like, oh, I thought it was kind of like Emiko,
Yeah.
but the way he says it, it's Amiko. He just says it with a different cadence. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I didn't totally fuck it up for years.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
But you
that.
did.
And
A little
again,
bit.
I continue to really like Oliver working with the cops. I think it's, I mean, it does raise some questions of like, if you have these resources, why is it still like Arrow's resources? Why aren't they cop resources? You know what I mean? Like, there are some logistical questions I have.
Like, why can he do things so much faster than you guys?
Yeah, like, anyway.
That's a very good question. Why doesn't you guys should have worked together a long time ago?
Yeah, but I do like I like it because it's something different. It's something that the other superhero shows haven't had a chance to do. It's something we never really seen in the comics about having the vigilante work with the police force, and it's cool. And then he did that cool net arrow thing, and it's one of those where was the net in the arrow? How does mass work? I guess Ray Palmer's one of their pals.
I don't know. That was an interesting.
But it was cool. The nerd in me was way into it.
I feel like it wasn't part of the arrow. I feel like he put something on the tip of the arrow first,
fair
and
enough.
then it expanded. Because I was literally thinking, like, there are so many other times we could have used this.
Oh, so Garth says Batman with Commissioner Gordon. It's not the same thing though, because it's Oliver Queen. It's not Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Look what's happening. Well, because I'm a gamer. My Ditto.
Yeah, pretty cool. That's actually Pat writing in there because he's letting us know there's a Ditto outside.
Can you explain
what a Ditto is?
Well, I
what
already
a
know, but
Pokemon
for the
is?
people.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Outside on Pokemon Go, there's a Pokemon that is a Ditto.
Is Ditto.
And a Ditto can
camouflage itself.
So it looks like another Pokemon.
Another Pokemon.
Windsor.
Windsor. Gamer. Windsor.
You were very good at repeating it basically at the same time I did, and that's an impressive skill to have.
Thank you so much.
So is being an archer.
I'll be
I found a transition there. I really like that they're digging into. We're 7 seasons in, and we've dug into time on the island so much. I'm like, oh, sweet Christ. I like that now there's a different angle. I think this is kind of also probably with the new showrunner that they have.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like she had a homework assignment. She watched all 6 seasons, and she was like, what could we actually like poke holes in? And I like that we're focusing on, hey, we do know that Oliver's dad was a bad dude, but we still kind of are on his side because he knew what other bad guys to kill. It's like, no, he's a bad guy through and through. He had a secret family that he didn't take care of, and actually not directly was responsible for bad stuff that happened, but maybe.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, this is relevant for people who have watched the show for 7 years. And if you haven't, you don't get this. And I like being rewarded for my dedication because there's so many parts of Arrow. We have so many new characters that weren't around from day one, and we've gone with their storylines. But this is somebody who's been dead and off the show for seasons and seasons.
Since the first episode.
And we need to talk about what happened there.
Yeah.
And the fact that he killed, like, all right, he killed himself, and we want to talk about that possibly being heroic to save his son, maybe, but, like, killed somebody else.
Yeah.
You killed someone else. You did that.
Bad dude. And I did like the actor they got for the son and the crazy static electricity, suck it all out of the air and murder everybody. And you can't touch doorknobs, you can't touch computers. It's gonna get you and it's gonna bite.
And normally, anytime you give Stephen Amell an opportunity to like process, be like pensive and have to like think and like redeem himself, he usually knocks that stuff out of the park. He does a really good job with it. And the stuff with Laurel was interesting in so much that it gave more opportunity for Laurel and Felicity to hang out. And I think that's been a rewarding pairing this season.
It was awesome that she was so confused why they were getting drinks. Like, what is this that people do with each other?
So this person, just to be clear, is just going after...
What person?
Sorry, Soccer is just going after him just because, right? Not because of
we don't know
stuff.
because there is a tease. Oh, you
not
know what?
because
That's
of
the
our other
setup.
stuff.
That's the set. Not because of our other stuff. That's the setup for the next episode because I saw the teaser for it, and there's a vigilante hunter.
Sometimes you think it's
like a metahuman serial killer, but vigilante.
And we'll get done with it in one episode probably. Wasn't that Prometheus?
What's up with
No. What was Deadshot, but not? He had dumb goggles. Who was that guy? They got screamed to death by Laurel.
Wait.
Oh yeah,
Dinah's
Vigilante. Yeah,
literally.
But he wasn't a no. This guy's after other vigilantes.
Yeah. And so was Vigilante a little bit.
Okay.
It's complicated. Vigilante's a way too plain of a name for a character.
How do you guys feel about how close they're able to call this Suicide Squad? Like, what legally were they allowed? What letter legally did they have to stop at?
I'm wondering if the mandate wasn't even you can't say the name or whatever. They were just having fun with the fact that it can't be the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we got that where he said like Suicide Squad, I think it's cut off, and then there was another like wink. We know what this is.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the squad at some point, right? Because they didn't actually get to do a lot this episode.
No, I think we're gonna see him.
How do you guys feel about this particular squad?
It's what we got.
I know that for a fact.
It's all we got. We don't have Lady Cop anymore, I don't think.
I did like Lady Cop though. I like that actress.
What a dumb
I
name.
kind of
like
liked
the fighting.
Cupid in this episode.
I like Cupid. I like Cupid for what she is.
Stupid.
I like her when she's part of this group. I think she's a good foil. I think that she's this show's Harley Quinn. And for me, you talk about feeling rewarded. It's cool seeing like the team of villains in here, and if you feel rewarded, because like I know who all these people are, and I know the histories. You're missing out because you did have Bronze Tiger early in the season, and you're not recruiting him for the team. I feel like
where's he at?
He's still in prison.
Oh yeah, they really should have got him. That would have been really cool.
Oh yeah.
Even though he's
Michael J. White's so cool.
He made it through the big fight.
Remember
in prison,
now?
right?
I'm remembering that big prison episode. That was insane.
Yeah, that was a great
episode. Was insane.
He's alive after that.
Yeah.
Let's get some love for Lady Cop in the chat. There you go. There's a lot of people. There's not a lot. There's Leo Poo giving a shout out to Lady Cop.
Lil Poo.
Lil Poo.
His rapper name Lil Poo.
How much poo there is?
There's a little bit.
Lil Poo.
Oh wait, did I bring up? Here's the team. We were talking about him. Here's that. There they are.
Everyone's got wigs.
And
wigs
once again, I like the way they're using Diaz, where he's not the big bad. He's just a bad.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's just a crazy man.
Now this is better for Diaz. This is so much better for Diaz.
I like him a lot.
He's just a fly in the ointment. Like he's not the big. There isn't a big bad this season.
How quickly did you guys realize that Mr. Terrific wasn't dead?
I honestly thought they were getting rid of him because they haven't used him that much this
Oh,
season.
really?
Yeah.
I did not for a second thought he was actually dead.
I knew something was up, but I'm like, did they get him?
Yeah.
Are we done with him?
I think it would have been amazing that like you take him out like in the middle of the episode with so little fanfare.
And we'll
Nobody else there to witness it.
We're going to talk about something like that in Black Lightning because I've got
You got some theories.
Because these shows just don't. Even the Game of Thrones of the world typically wait until premiere, a finale, a penultimate, the last 2 minutes of an episode. Like if Mr. Terrific was just dead in the middle of a random episode of a random 24 episode season.
I wish a show would do that though, man. Like really just throw people for a loop.
Like not
like
even
Curtis?
do.
No, just like the idea of killing off a main character, like
Yeah.
right in the middle, no fanfare. I'll tell you guys off the thing. There's something, writing something a thing I've always wanted to try.
With what?
I'll tell you
Like a
later.
backflip?
No,
You can
no,
try it
no,
later.
no,
He thinks you guys are gonna steal it. Ditto.
I'll see. You're getting it. That's pretty good. Someone in the chat wrote, do you think Arrow will get a full season next year? It will. And if they kill off Oliver over the crossover. Oh, do you think it's going to continue after the crossover if they kill off Oliver during Crisis on Infinite Earths? I think they're going to...
Emiko.
Emiko. Part of me thinks that is one of the reasons they're introducing Emiko, but I have to think these writers are smart enough to realize that has never worked. You can't... If you don't have Stephen Amell, you don't have a show.
Same. Agreed. Not
Same.
same. Agreed.
Yeah, you
You
just
don't have Stephen Amell, you don't have a show.
Same.
Like this isn't because even and that's the other thing. Like with Doctor Who, they regenerate, but it's still the Doctor. It's his show.
Same personality.
Yeah,
And
roughly
and
some variation on it.
They can reinvent it every season too.
Yeah, but it's that character's show. If you get rid of Oliver, you don't have a show anymore. You know, and I don't know if they're getting ready for that. And on the one hand, go out on a high note. On the other hand, it's like I still prefer this show over the other one, so I still kind of want it to be around. But especially now, this season's good. You know what I mean?
This season actually is good.
Yeah,
It's really solid, and I like what
I'm
they're
pretty
doing with Diaz.
surprised.
I know he's not going to be the big bad, or if he is, I'd be like, I'm fine with that. It doesn't really matter that there is a big bad for me. I just think I'm like, wow, it's really solid so far.
Yeah.
And they had a full prison break.
Yeah.
They actually did a full prison
full
break.
thing. The only thing, my only nitpick about the season is I wouldn't mind if the next episode miraculously the flash forward was resolved and we just had like, oh, we fixed everything, moving on.
I can't.
Yeah.
With the flash forward. I just can't. I don't understand why the show doesn't look at itself and say, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. What?
I'd love it for when Arrow ends for Stephen Amell to be the Red Death for a whole season of Flash and then Legends.
That is weird.
I think we'd get a guy in a suit, and then for one episode, it's revealed,
Yeah.
it's Stephen
That would
Amell in
also
there.
be, I guess because he's the Batman of this universe. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
No,
Nah,
I don't know.
that is confusing.
I do, honestly, with the way these shows are, for some reason, I feel like if you had we did have a bad Arrow. We had Nazi Arrow. Yeah. He'd be difficult. He'd be a bad Oliver Queen would be hard to stop.
And a bad Oliver Queen speedster.
Yeah, really tough. I know we mentioned earlier about Grant Gustin. Do you guys feel like Stephen Amell could be a movie star?
I mean, he was in Ninja Turtles. I think he's very talented.
I could give him like 10 years and he could do a lot of rom-coms, but it's for like the older couple, like trying to find love again after a marriage. You know what I'm talking about?
Like what Jennifer Lopez is doing right now?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think he could do well as the love interest in those movies.
Here's the thing, but I think you look at most TV actors. Bryan Cranston wasn't ever able really to get traction as like a movie star. You know what I mean?
Now he does.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like he's
Godzilla,
he's
The
getting a new-
Upside.
Yeah, but he's not like
Argo.
a star. Like and he's in other movies, but now he's going back to another television show.
Yeah.
He loves it.
He's a TV star. You know what I mean? And a lot of like it's rare. All the Game of Thrones people have been in movies, but they're not going to be movie stars.
Hey, don't say that. Yeah,
Probably.
Bran
You
could
don't
have
think
his own series.
You don't think
Yeah.
Amelia Clark is going to be
No.
a movie star?
No, and not because they're not talented. I don't know what
She was not good at Me Before You.
And I saw Terminator.
You know, it's weird. You can see the other like
It's awful.
Like Amy Adams is great in movies, and then she gets in Sharp Objects, and she's great in that too. And she's a fucking movie star. You know what I mean? And there's something about that like star quality that they could be supporting actors. But I don't know if I've ever seen anybody on these CW shows that like, oh fuck yeah, you should be in movies, man.
Well, Melissa Benoist she went from Glee to Whiplash movie, and that's
yeah,
where
she also had she was in that Mark Wahlberg movie about the marathon bombing.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was so rough to watch as a Boston person. That was a brutal movie.
Patriot Day.
Patriot Day.
Yeah.
Patriot Day.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think they could be like movie people, like regularly be in movies and stuff like that?
I don't know.
I think maybe.
I think
Cool.
I totally agree.
You know what?
Maybe.
Definitively,
I mean, Ruby Rose.
is a movie star.
It's coming from movies to TV.
But then once she's on TV, or if she becomes most known for being Batwoman, are we going to think isn't a movie star.
One, she also came from TV originally.
Yeah,
Orange is the New
from Orange is the
Black.
Black.
I think of the people that have the most potential to break through to movies, it'd be Stephen Amell and Melissa Benoist.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe because they both were in movies. Also, of the main people, I think they're the best actors.
He's also, there's something about Stephen Amell. He's like a big dude, and in all of these movies, like the action, big dude action guy.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
They might all just
Stephen
stop.
Amell.
They might all stop doing it because they're just so tired.
Yeah.
They're just so they've worked so
Especially
hard.
if I were Stephen Amell, I would want to have a donut.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that would be my main drive to like, hey, can we wrap this up at season 7? Because I, for the love of God, just want to have a damn donut.
Yeah.
I could see Stephen Amell becoming a dad on a series the way that the
Milo
Duke, one of the
Ventimiglia?
like how
Yeah.
the Duke boy became the dad for Clark Kent became Pa
Yeah.
Kent. You know, like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you give him a little bit of time, he'll get a dad bod, and he'll be like an old grizzled man, and he'll be there. You go.
What
That's
do you
what
guys think about this? Echo Spider says, Amell has a sincerity in his voice that makes it hard to see him as a movie star.
I don't know.
I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know about that either, but hey, you know what? He's still too early to tell because he's still got 19 more seasons of air to get through before he can even think about making a movie. But gang, I think we should rate these so we can move on to our Patreon chat because we're gonna be doing Black Lightning, we're doing Gotham,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do a roundup of what we think of those two shows, which is pretty cool.
It's a lighter week this week.
But
We're gonna
also,
do Black
by the
Lightning
way,
and Gotham and have fun because we're friends, and I have a special surprise.
wow, is it Gotham news?
No, it's something that I'm promoting, and I'll spoil it
Oh.
now. Sam cheats.
Oh, wow!
snap.
If you want more of
Spoilers.
that, tune in there. Also, by the way, just keep your eyes peeled because we're gonna be talking about Doom Patrol very soon. Super pumped about
yeah,
that.
very excited to talk about that.
So,
That's
what do we rate Arrow?
out of Ghost Initiative candidates, out of Bombs and Heads, I would give this an 8.
I give it an 8 as well.
I give it an 8 as well.
Wow, we are on the same page today. That's right.
Hey, three-way high five. 3, 2, go.
Oh, I'm going left.
Oh, you went full force out there. You almost busted my elbow. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. You're welcome, everybody. You go practice that at home.
watch back. It's so painful. No.
Look at all that force from
Here we go,
DJ.
here we
3,
go.
2.
Yeah.
You're trying to break one of our arms.
Hey, I like my high fives, all right?
Bingo.
Bongo, bango.
Bingo.
What rhymes with apricot?
Snot. Thought.
Better snot. Apricot. Better snot. Drop. You can make drop work.
You are taught.
We have all the cables
To-
go through where DJ sits, so
You're-
they're all tangled up in
You're a
him.
You're a thought.
Oh yeah, that's like sexy these days, right?
Being a thought?
Yeah, or no?
No, because it's that hoe over there.
It's not good.
What?
So it's not a
yeah,
positive
that's what
thing.
thought stands for.
No.
That hoe over there. So
It's
being
it's a acronym.
yeah, like a DGAF, but it
Thought
just works.
is an acronym.
Yeah.
I see that everywhere.
yeah.
Yes.
That hoe over there. Oh, so it's not. You don't want to be called a thought.
No.
Ooh, I've been called a thought and took that as a compliment.
Hey, good for you. I mean, you know,
I thought it stood for like that's hot.
no.
No.
Oh, I could see. No, it's an acronym. Yeah.
Oh, stop calling me a thought.
Don't do it.
Don't
Roxy
do it.
said stop
Caught.
it. Cot works
Thank
with that.
you, Danny.
Snot.
I mean, apricot has a
said
cot
snot.
in the. It works.
And,
Apricot.
and it was brought to
There you go. Brat works.
the potty.
Before we get into
Pot is how we say in Massachusetts, in Boston, party. Potty.
yeah, you
Oh,
guys
that-
have
It's a
a
potty.
y'all got a drawl, don't you?
One of my
Got that
favorite bits of
draw.
that classic movie I mentioned in the last stream, The Limey, is since he's Cockney, he does a lot of Cockney slang.
And what's that sound like?
And nobody understands what he's
It's
saying.
Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins.
But no,
What's
but
it
it's
sound like,
but
Sam?
even then the actual
I can't think of it.
the actual
Govna. It's the
no, but you're
British
talking about the
British.
accent. The slang is much more complicated because it was a way they basically created their own language. So I'm trying to think of a good example, but it would be you'd rhyme. So if you were going to go, shit, man, I don't even have a good example of it.
Dick Van Dyke.
I'm
Yeah.
not lost.
So I'll create a hypothetical one.
Okay.
You say that guy's a kite, and you'd be like, "What? He's like Dick Van Dyke, rhymes with kite," and so you say that, and it's like,
Okay, but you
wait,
know when
what?
you
That's
say-
like 3 levels of rhyming
When
stuff.
you say Dick Van Dyke
yeah,
rhymes with, and it's hard to understand, you've
Yeah.
got to really enunciate your kite.
yeah.
Because Vic Dan.
Yeah, I
Van
know,
Dyke does not
I know. But I know, I understand. But the point
I just
is,
wanted everybody at home to be clear.
Yeah.
on
The
what
Point
you were-
is, go USA for making it plain and simple.
Yeah.
We're the vanilla.
Also,
of
I still don't
languages.
understand why somebody does that.
Huh? Because they are bored.
Oh.
It's a rainy town.
Also,
You gotta.
bored.
also,
and
if you're
that's
like you're in
the
a more
toward.
in a less affluent area, you might be involved with criminality, so you have your own language to create some distance between what you're saying and what cops would understand that you're saying.
Also,
which is how you've been paying.
Oh, you're right, man.
Point is, watch The
great
Lineman.
timing.
Everybody should go watch The Lineman on Amazon Prime. It's a really fun movie.
But also, should you be watching Black Lightning on the CW? Let's go ahead and hop right into it with our Patreon chat. This is season 2.
I don't like the laugh you did.
Episode 11.
Ask my permission next time.
The Book of Secrets,
Chapter
1, Prodigal Son.
Jefferson zeroes in on
I thought we
Tobias.
were gonna do the whole thing.
We weren't going to make it. I'm just going to plow right through. Zeroes in on Tobias as a suspect for a recent malicious attack. What? He did something bad?
What?
He thinks Henderson will back him, but is in for a surprise. Lynn confronts her difficult past.
In this
I don't think that
episode-
sums up what happens in this episode.
Not quite. In this episode, quick question: when you saw Tobias waterboarding somebody, did you think it was the nerdy dude?
I thought it was definitely thought it was a nerdy dude.
I
It's
thought
just
it
some
was
random
It was
dude.
just a random dude.
Yeah, that died.
That was so confusing to me.
Full disclosure, I haven't seen this episode of Black Lightning.
Ooh, you missed out. It's actually they're I think they're back on two track.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too. But it was set up so strange because he asks Nerdy Dude to do something. Then we see him waterboarding somebody who you can't see who it is because they're fully covered, i.e., waterboarding. And then he's just like, "You didn't do what I asked you to do, and now you suffer." That's what Tobias sounds like in my head. And then it just.
I mean,
What was that?
Was he
fair, though-
waterboarding or drowning him?
he was waterboarding because he was trying to get basically teach him a lesson, and then when he dies, he's like, "Oh shit!" He wasn't paying attention and holding him under the water for
That's
too
not
long.
waterboarding.
No, he was.
Huh?
He
It's
had
the
a thing on his
thing on
face.
his face, water coming
and
down.
Yeah, and jumping water.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was
his waterboard.
waterboarding.
Gotcha.
He let him. He just held him down until he
Gotcha.
passed out, died, whatever.
That seemed to me was like, are you trying to remind us how brutal Tobias is? Because I don't forget. I
literally
just saw
last
him rip out somebody's
Yeah.
spine. What's happening here?
I
Hey,
liked it
everybody's
because
gotta have a hobby.
Yeah, he's gonna have hobbies, and he was working on waterboarding. Guess
I
what?
guess.
Gonna need more practice because you're not supposed to kill him. You're just supposed to get
You
information.
suck
out
at
of him.
waterboarding, bro.
Dude, that's
you can't
so
even
embarrassing.
waterboard.
It's embarrassing for sure.
Besides that, though, I like that I always start with the little tiny 2-second scene that bothered me. This was a good episode. It was something you and I have a different opinion on what actually happened with Khalil because you think he dead.
I think we got an image of him in the hospital. There it is.
or he's getting a massage. Really hard to tell.
Total, and with the circle and a total massage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
like, shouldn't they have had restraints on him or something so he doesn't tweak his back? Like, he's just
Or
too
also because he's a
free-flowing.
criminal.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
his
true.
whole
supposed to
spine
go to
got
jail
ripped
for
out
the
of his
rest of his
body.
life.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's gonna be worming around on that table.
Well, I'm not-
He couldn't even worm around on the
I'm not saying
concrete.
worming on purpose. I'm just saying, like, you're trying to make sure somebody lives and thinking about surgery. You got to keep them. You know what you do with somebody's neck or head? You
Yeah.
stabilize it. He's
Real-
so just like
real quick.
loosey goosey.
Real quick, somebody just dumped him out of the car with the robot spine. Did they just try squishing it back in? Did they try?
We did miss that part.
Ooh,
They
let's
did
just see if
say
it fits right back in.
it was asked, like, why don't we put a new one in? And
Yeah.
and they were just like, we
don't-
don't know how to do that.
Yeah, we didn't put it in him. We don't know what it is, and it got yanked out of him.
Yeah.
It didn't get surgically removed.
But I
so,
don't feel like anybody tried. Like, why isn't Gamby working on that?
because we were busy on
Why
a.
aren't you just trying to put it back in?
Because, well, to be
Just
fair,
squish.
Eric, there's you can start raising questions about this, but I think from my point of view, this all went really fast, like what happened with Khalil, and we'd have to start researching like this. They made it seem like it was alien technology that no one knows how he got a hold of this, where Tobias
made it
got a
seem
hold
like
of it.
alien technology?
The doctor did when they were talking about
Just something they really don't
alternatives.
understand.
They don't
Yeah.
understand it when they even throw
Are
out
you
the
using
idea.
alien as the term foreign, or are you using alien like literally from not this world?
Both, because I don't know what it is. Because
Okay.
and also we play with aliens enough. We hang out with them. One of them's a star of the show, blonde. You remember her? We talked about her earlier. So it could be anything. And because even remember when
Nailed it.
and we had the tattoo man somehow come back to life. Never dealt with how that happened.
Yeah.
Well,
even though it
he
was
was
cool.
on somebody's arm and tattooed.
No, people got on his arms.
Yeah, that's how he got back to life.
Interesting. If you're good with that, you're good with that. But I was fine with them.
Can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery, but can come back to life.
Interesting. That's how the rules work. I like that the timetable was pretty quick. He had something super severe happen to him in the entire episode. He's basically unconscious, but besides the times when he tries to talk to Jefferson and he tries to talk to Jennifer, and
Jennifer got in his head, and they were at prom, which I thought was a beautiful scene.
We got a Jennifer in there.
Where?
There she is.
Oh, yeah.
Also, by the way, I love that this show, tons of shows don't lean into the fact that a lot of African-American women change up their hairstyles all of the time, because shows are nervous that when you show a character with different hair, you're going to have to explain for some reason why they have different hair. And this show DGAF, and they're just like, no, this is how women of her age, like she's a 17-year-old girl who's always mixing up her look. You can just do that.
Yeah,
like,
her ex just got a spinal tap. Time to change things up a little bit.
Time to change your hair and your wardrobe. Like, I love that this show does not stop to address, like, now my hair is shorter today. Now it's longer. Like, now I'm wearing this velour sweatshirt. Like, they just let her, and I never see this on TV. I'm so happy about it.
I liked it too.
It's
and
not
also,
relevant,
hey,
but-
maybe she was like, maybe if I make my hair shorter, Cleo won't try to like reach up and grab it or something. It's a little bit further away now.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because that seems like Khalil's lifeline.
But going into bringing the woman who can like create dreamscapes where Jennifer can like work on her abilities and actually understand them, giving it as like for what I interpreted as a farewell to Khalil, being like, we're not gonna be able to go to prom together. We're not gonna be able to do, basically your life's over. Right before you die, though, we can give you one little tiny piece of happiness.
With prom.
With prom. Hey, if they're kids, that's where life ends for some people in high school.
But it's not just about his happiness, it's about her final memories.
Yeah, and it's not even
She needed
anything.
that.
They don't even go to prom. It's just like he gets to walk around. He gets to use his legs, and at the last and basically he says goodbye to her. There's no like kiss. There's nothing like that. It's just you aren't in pain, and you just walk off into nothingness.
No.
I just don't believe that he's dead, because it doesn't feel like his storyline is wrapped up. And that doesn't mean that I think he's going to be back this season. But at some point, if we had alien technology then, and we've got these pods, and we've got these ways to extend life, and also Walt Disney is
yeah.
frozen,
Yeah.
so like we know it's possible.
And in the universe, that's what it is. He was in one of the
DC
pod
really
kids.
got progressive here.
Oh
and,
yeah, real weird dig
brought
to Disney.
He's the villain of season 3.
Yeah.
Whoa, but it's like he's on a robot.
Actually, I'm
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
sure that Walt Disney's head is frozen and his body is not.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
don't know how that
That was
works
dog- that turned into
exactly.
dog
But
food.
maybe we put him on Khalil's body. It wouldn't
Bingo.
quite look right, but it would be fine.
Wouldn't you say his story's not done? What left is there to say about Khalil?
He needs to get his spine back.
I'm saying that I feel like these kind of shows like a more clear distinction, good guy, bad guy. And I think the way they left it without having them had sex, without having them have closure on their relationship, without having him have gone to prison or know if he redeems himself or know if he goes down the dark path or what happens with his mom, who they've been showing a lot recently. The whole thing just feels like it's got some loose ends. And I guess what better way to tie ends than dying? I guess it ties all of the ends. But it just felt to me like they were keeping this open for stories to down the line be reopened. Like
Interesting.
next season.
What if they take his robot spine and squish it into his mom, and then she gets his powers?
Interesting. Squish it. You
Squish
keep
it.
saying squish
Yeah,
it.
squish it. You just squish it.
or even if it like he had a twin or
Gross. Ew, the
even
Gotham's leaking into the show. God,
I'm not
stop it.
I'm
No,
not pushing what I want at this point. I'm just saying that this actor seemed so like it did not feel like his final moments on the show.
That I got enough closure with the character because you had him running away with Jennifer and trying to get away from, basically he's made mistakes and he was in a desperate time when he made those decisions, and guess what, they were all wrong. And now at the end of this, he paid for what happened because he has ruined some people's lives, even though he wasn't trying to, purposely. But when if you get mixed up with bad people, there's going to be consequences. And also, we need a motivation this season because Tobias has kind of just been going around doing cleanup work. It's like, well, let's kill this person for
What
past
is
this
Tobias
person.
doing?
Exactly. And so I think this was a good catalyst for like at least a few characters.
Yeah.
It's like not only did he kill a kid, he brutally maimed a kid and left him to bleed out, unable to fend for himself. And it was an awful way to go. Is terrible. So I feel like this is a good motivation for Tobias's character moving forward, at least a little bit.
To take over the pod people as his army? Because
No.
that's what he's
Pod
trying
people.
to do right now,
Got some pod
right?
people.
Yeah, no, I just mean as in, oh yeah, you do have some pod people. There they are. They're standing there.
By the way, the actress behind Lynn, that's in that pink
Pod?
sports bra and pants pod combination, like, I have so many questions for that actress.
About
I just want to know, like, how long were you standing there?
Mm-hmm.
What is that actual process like? Like, are you actually tilted in that uncomfortable position? Did they talk to you about wardrobe? Why going into the pod you have to wear a sports
Underwear?
bra and pants? Like, what was the process?
Are they
How many
frozen right
hours
now?
did you spend in the gym so that your abs could look fine in the pod? Like,
We'll get her on the show. We'll get her. I don't know. I can't see
specifically.
her face, but we'll
just
bring
don't
her
you
on
feel
the
like
show.
that's such a weird role? Like, you're just standing
Yeah.
and, like, are you in a goo?
Yeah.
Is this all
No, they're not
digitally
in
done?
goos. We've seen it. They're not in goo. There's no not a goo in sight in there.
Yeah, but then how are you just standing there frozen? Is it just an image of you, like,
It would have
displayed
been.
back there? Is that footage? Or are you actually in the same scene?
No, those are 100% extras standing in the back.
Oh, I'm so happy about
But
it.
when it comes to Khalil's story, it was a majority of this episode, but we also got definitely a shout out to that cell phone mom who called the police on that black family in San Francisco that were trying to have a barbecue. You had a call out to that, but it was Jennifer crying in the parking lot and this white woman saying, "Oh, are you trying to steal my car?"
You
Making a
just
phone
want
call.
to. You want to just punch the woman in the face.
Yeah.
You just want to punch her in the face, and I'm not even mad about what Jennifer did.
No,
I'm
but
not even mad
What I
about
liked
it.
though was that Jennifer was definitely gonna just shock the car, but instead, since she can't control her powers, it accidentally blew up the car, and it was like, uh-oh.
But I love the comment. She was like, "What are you gonna do? Call the cops on God?
Oh yeah, she
Lightning, bitch."
yeah, she's like, "What? You thought it was me? How could I have done that?"
No.
Yeah.
There's plenty of
Yeah,
superpowered
there-
people.
Yeah, we know. There's evidence.
Yeah.
And how,
There's a camera in the hospital right there. We saw it.
how sketchy is that woman though, who helps Jennifer with her powers all the time, but knows where they are always?
Hey man, dream powers.
Like, yeah,
Supergirl.
I feel like
Spiders.
she could
Look out for them
eventually.
spiders.
Somehow she eventually could be working with Tobias and be used as such a weapon on Jennifer because she's the only one who can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. She sketches me out. I'm very nervous about her.
Yeah, she's a little too OP.
Yeah.
Too powerful. She's either gonna die in a really tragic way or she's gonna become a villain. Ain't
Yeah.
that the lesson in all these shows?
Yeah.
I agree. What's
Or she's
happening
in
with
pain all the time.
I don't understand because I forget the name, so forgive me. It's either a pastor or priest or a.
Pastor. Yeah.
What's up with him?
So he was poisoned by Poison Lady
Yeah.
and
Classic.
dead. I'm guessing dead.
Dead,
That was
okay.
that was wrapping up loose ends, and it was only done just because Tobias could, and it was just a motivation.
But you think he's gone off the show dead?
Give him like an episode, he'll come back with a goopy spine. He'll have his own spider
Okay.
spine,
You
and
just
he'll
need
walk
to
in.
squish it in there.
Just squish it in.
Squish.
Which I like that story because I like that as well because it lining up with Khalil, we see that Tobias is now making big moves, especially with his smart techie kid breaking Dr. Jace out of the prison that she was being kept at. Also, by the way, Young Justice people watching, Dr. Jace is the scientist who turned Brion into Geo-Force and gave him his powers and is dating Black Lightning on that show.
Yeah.
So it was a cool, and bringing it back, and also the fun nod to Markovia in this show, meaning that Geo-Force could possibly come over on the show, which before Young Justice would have been I wouldn't have cared whatsoever.
Yeah, now it's
But
like,
now
ooh,
you-
maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
And I do like that this show just kind of wrapped up some of its like crazier storylines that I was getting just a little tired of. Like Looker has been gone for a while, and now the Runaways situation's
God
over.
Looker's not
Remember Looker? That was a rough one.
There's a situation we haven't talked about yet, which I know that fans are probably excited about, which is Anissa and I'm just tapping on the table, and Grace
Smooching it up.
smooching, doing the little hospital wait and dance.
It was a little bit in this episode, but I do like that they're together. It makes me happy. Grace has got her own thing going on, which I'm confused about. But I did like Henderson and Black Lightning working together. Like he took him to Gamby's place. He showed
Yeah.
him like this is
But
the lair.
Wait, though. This confused me too. So when Henderson goes to Gamby's place and he's like, "Is there anything else you want to tell me?" And
Jefferson?
Jefferson's like, "Nope, this is it." does Henderson's aware about thunder and lightning and about now this place, right?
Yes.
So why did it feel like the show was trying to wink, wink, like there is something else?
Because on all these shows, we always lie. Everyone
yeah,
lies.
but
You gotta protect people.
But it feels
Yeah.
like he's not lying right now.
No, but
or
we know better though, because he's not. But there's gonna be something.
Is it like the fact? Is it something to do with the pods? Was it? I just kept thinking to myself, like, what hasn't he told Henderson? I feel like he said everything. What am I missing?
I think I was suspicious as well, but I think I don't think there's anything else left. But I do like them teaming up. I like them being fully transparent with the police, and I like Henderson. That actor's great.
He's so good.
And I like them working together, too. I liked having Gamby in his ear, trying to get him to scan Tobias's apartment as they were looking around.
That was cool. And Gamby this season is so much strong. I mean, he's always been a great actor, but last season I know we had a couple issues with some lines. Of his. and they figured it out a little more this year.
I'm glad we're past the whole faking your death thing.
But we're not really past it because he still can't leave his bunker.
We're past the story of that, and now
past
he's just
the actual car.
It's just Alfred now stuck in the mansion instead of going outside. Now he's just stuck right there. He doesn't get to drive Bruce Wayne around.
I am calling it a bunker, but what actually is he?
It's a lair.
Yeah, all right.
It's a tailor shop, and I love that joke where he's like, "Oh, so you're not a tailor?" He's like, "No, I'm a tailor.
No, I
like,
am
I'm
a
good.
tailor.
I'm a good tailor." It's like, but also this.
No.
As a whole, I like that it. For me, it wrapped up Khalil's story in a way that's like, no, it's not satisfying. It's not satisfying fully for the character because like. He fucked up.
We wanted to see Khalil and what's-her-face bone.
No, I never needed
Everybody
that.
was obsessed with
Honestly,
it.
though, I do feel like part of the reason, if they did kill him off for good, or even killing him off for now, is the DJ problem, which is like, you can't root for this couple right now. You just can't, because he tried to kill her dad. He's made so many mistakes. He didn't kidnap her exactly, but he didn't not kidnap her.
He didn't work hard enough to take her
home. Like, he didn't make her safer. He made her less safe for all those reasons. Like, even if you think they're two hot people who you want to see make out because CW and stuff.
Because CW.
You just
And they are two
can't.
hot people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there like, wait, I feel icky for even thinking this. Like, stop. What's our solution? Dead.
I get it, but I'm glad that we're at least kind of wrapping that up and we can get back to Tobias. And I like how he's built out his team of people now. I like having the smart kid on his side. I like having Dr. J. So it's like he has an operation to make more metas and work with the pod kids. And he's using the smart kid to not only extort money from people, but also finding more metas. Like there's he's building an army out with the 100 and with metahumans.
What did you think about the news that Tobias used to date? Did you comment on this already?
Dr. J's?
Yeah, you said something about that?
No, I just know that they're working together now. But
No,
they're both part of the same experiment.
No, not Dr. Jace. That Tobias used to date whatever her name is. I'm going to kidnap you. I've gone out to catch the kids.
Oh, Poison Lady.
Poison Lady.
There you go. Well, good for them. I don't remember that.
Oh, yes. She says it was like a really quick thing, but they made a point of it where he was like, I'm sorry, I never apologized to you.
Oh, I
And
don't
she
remember
was-
that at all.
He literally comes in like, I know I never apologized to you. She's like, it's okay. It was years ago. And we had a good thing. And he's
This
like,
won't ever come
whatever.
back later in the
he
season
was like,
to be
whatever.
forgot.
Yeah, it was just a weird. And I was kind of like, what?
But one
It's right
interesting
around the
thing,
waterboarding.
I was right about that time. But one interesting part that I actually enjoyed was that we've got to finally have an answer for why Tobias is so goddamn old, and it's Dr. Jace, and Dr. Jace is also
The
crazy
serum
old.
or whatever she's created.
You got the serum. It's always a serum.
Can I have that dough?
Yeah, just a little bit. He's doing fine. He's super strong.
So out of 10 goopy spines.
Goopy spines. They
That's what
can't go back
They
in.
can't go back in, we've determined.
I guess it was actually pretty good.
I thought it was 8 out of 10. I honestly really liked it.
I'd give it an 8 also.
Even though you did have more problems with the episode than I did.
I had a ton of problems with it, but I think by comparison to what we had done earlier this season, this felt more in line with season 1, so I was happy.
That's what I like to hear. But
Oh,
now,
Danny M. Oh, sorry, really
Sorry,
quick.
yeah.
Danny M. said, "Is he going to get a Doc Ock arm?" No, he dead. No, that's definitely dead.
I don't feel like he is definitely
maybe he'll
dead.
come back as a cyborg.
Maybe as a ghost. You want to talk about Gotham?
If I have to vote for Cyborg or Ghost, I'm voting Cyborg.
There you go. That's a
If he
pretty.
comes back as Ghost, oh boy. Oh, what if he just
'Cause we're
lives in her
dealing-
dream place that...
Yeah.
Oh,
What a
no.
nightmare. There's some
Oh,
weird stuff to
no.
unpack there.
Because apparently we're dealing with ghosts now.
Yes,
apparently.
we are. But also, speaking of
me
troublesome troubles, troubling over in
And another
Scottish
show with
accent?
an exceptionally long title.
Gotham. Let's talk about Season 5, Episode 4, Legend of the Dark Knight: Ruin. Gordon and Penguin are forced to work together, and alliances are shaken when Lucius, Nigma, and Barbara all have different ideas of the culprit behind the recent events at Haven. Meanwhile, Selena continues her quest for revenge against Jeremiah.
So a lot happened in this episode, and it was bomb.
Where's the meat?
Cool.
It was
Where's
bomb.
the meat?
So
Where's
episodes
the meat?
1 and 2 were 3 and 4 are awesome. Meat MIA right now
Dude,
because
crazy.
Penguin's doing some random things, and he does not have time for the meat. I'm guessing it's still in his meat locker, though.
Good. Well, at least
Yeah.
he's keeping it cold.
Because we would know if it wasn't there right now.
We would know.
Guess who's back together? If you guys had to guess which couple has a sexy, sexy makeout scene in this.
I'm
And
gonna
by
say-
sexy, I mean, oh God, how did the show get me here?
Nigma and Selena, and it's gonna be gross.
No, I'm going to
Lucius.
say, and this is kind of cheating. I bet you it'll be Gordon and Barbara again because I know people were like, "Oh, they're going to have Batgirl."
Yeah,
Oh shit.
it is Gordon and Barbara.
Yeah.
Now I'm very,
Yeah.
I'm very.
Oh, we have a Gordon and Barbara. Hold on.
Oh, we've got one of those unlocked.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's got a haircut.
Yeah, she did.
Did they explain it?
She's got new leather. No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
They make out. She like goes to kiss him, and he does the "I'm not gonna kiss you," and then she goes to walk away, and he does the Barbara. And then you would like he goes to pull her in, and you think they're gonna kiss immediately, but he does. They don't. He pulls her in, and there's like 10 seconds, literally 10. We're just kind of staring at each other, like, "Are we gonna do this?"
Dude, that's hot.
and then
That's hot.
and as an audience member, I was just like, are they gonna do this? What is happening?
You know what would have been cooler though if it was Lucius and Penguin.
Yeah, I kind of hoping when she's saying that, and he says Barbara, and then he goes and runs and jumps in her arms like that
That
scene
would've
in It's
been
Always
awesome.
Sunny, the dance move, like runs and jumps in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know where Lee is. Probably in Deadpool, but I don't understand because the show made it seem like that was going to be the love of his life, and I know the implications of him being with Barbara and what that means for like what the future of the non-show would look like.
Yeah, because this show's really concerned about.
But they don't
setting
care
stuff
about
up,
that. So I
yeah.
figured he would end up with Lee, and I feel like the only reason he didn't is literally because she is in a massive Marvel franchise or
Yeah,
whatever.
she was in like the first 5 minutes of that movie.
And the end.
Yeah.
And the end.
But
Danny M writes in the chat, gotta make a Barbara for
Yeah.
sure.
So I don't know, and I'm not even mad about this because they're two hot people and fine, and there is kind of the legwork to get us here. But when you stop and think about everything she's done, it's like, oh no. So I just can't think about it too much. So they're on Team Makey Outie. We had another Two-Face storyline, and by Two-Face, of course, I mean Enigma.
I think we have a him too in there.
Oh, you do, of course.
Oh, there it
Yeah,
is. with his,
your favorite Two-Face you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, he's got that Mike Chemical
there-
haircut going on.
Yeah.
There is a Two-Face though, right?
So Riddler,
Season 1.
but not,
Yeah.
and it's not him. But he has a lot of the characteristics. He is Riddler, and he does brutally kill an old lady this episode.
Cool.
That old lady in the picture, he wheels her out of a window.
That's
Cool.
He wants the information, and she finally informs him, "You're the one that blew up Haven." And he is so upset because he had been working with Lucius to figure out who blew up Haven.
No.
And then she says, "It was you." And he was like, and just wheels her right out of the window. And you see her fall out of her wheelchair and splat.
Now, to be fair, that is a
So-
fun callback to Batman Forever when Enigma takes his boss on the chair and wheels him out a window.
Yeah, but this was
Down
really
a
sad because
waterfall?
Yeah.
That movie's
this
confusing.
little old lady is like, but you said you wouldn't kill me. And it was just kind of like,
you have to promise that to people. It probably
Yeah.
isn't a good.
that didn't work though. But it is interesting because I think most people thought that Jeremiah had blown up Haven
Because of
the
course.
because of course, and now figuring out why Nigma, one of his two personalities, did this and who he is working with, which I have to assume was Jeremiah or somebody that we know, because otherwise, what is the storyline?
Yeah.
So that will be really interesting to see. Selena maybe kills Jeremiah. She gets to him and stabs him like 4,060 times.
Where though?
Boom, boom, boom,
Right-
boom,
right
boom,
around his
boom,
organs.
boom, boom,
Right
boom.
in the meat.
Yeah.
She literally is like straddling him as she's stabbing him, like going for it. And then Bruce Wayne pulls her off and is like, time to go, Selena. And she's like, yeah, okay. And they,
Cool.
they leave. It was weird because we obviously didn't see him dead. And you have to assume he's not dead. Because otherwise, what was that for?
No.
Like, what was that? What was the whole thing for?
Well, because Joker's an idea, not necessarily a person.
They have tried to make that point a lot of times on this show.
Ain't that the truth?
So that was not my favorite part of the episode, but she has gone like so off the deep end, and Bruce is just head over heels in love with her. So it's kind of an eh.
Fun fact, Echo Spider, a.k.a. Danny M in the chat, Aaron Richards, who I had to look up was Barbara, came to a comic shop right before the show premiered, and I missed out on meeting her before the show. Made her a star. # sad day. I'm so sorry.
She is so good on the show. I will give her
Really?
that. I think so. For what...
I'm trying not to poo-poo the show because we got people who genuinely like it who listen to this, so I'm trying to pay you respect.
I can't explain. It's not the same as you with Gifted. I actually love this show.
Gifted's got me, though.
Okay, it's got you a little more, but like it might be Stockholm. I don't know what it is,
probably.
but I love this show so much. Every time I'm watching it, I'm like, no, what? Yeah. And like, I'm sitting there by myself, fist pumping. So I don't care what you guys think about me and my meat locker. I don't care.
I know. Well, it's a big deal. Who's got the meat?
Who's got the meat?
Who's got the meat?
Who's got the meat?
We just have this asset. Penguin has the meat.
If you're curious, it's Penguin.
It's Penguin.
Penguin's got it.
Yeah.
So we don't know if Jeremiah's dead. Penguin's got the meat and the friendship with Gordon.
Yeah, but he kind of doesn't now because there's no bigger enemies on the show than Penguin and Barbara. And if Jim's makey outy with Barbara, then he's definitely not gonna be friends with Penguin anymore. And Penguin turns on him really quick. Like Penguin does a weird thing this episode because they're all trying to figure out who did this thing with Haven, and they still don't know. Penguin shows up to the precinct with all of his guns and is like, here, cops, have all of our guns. Because we got to figure out who did Haven. We all got to team together. Barbara's like, yes, we do. They all team together to try to figure this out. They don't figure it out. And then Penguin turns on Jim, and Jim's men are like shooting with the guns Penguin gave him.
Yeah.
Back, the whole thing was like, Penguin.
That's some sharp writing right there.
What? And they've used all the drinking water. So now Penguin has the meat, but he doesn't have the water.
And they can't get out of Gotham.
I will give you this. I'm slightly unclear on that. I'm
Because
slightly
it
unclear.
seems like this is a war zone. And
Danny
we should
M,
just
help
give
me
up.
out and help me out because I think you love the show as much as I do. Why can't they leave? I know that they've said 1,000 times they can't, and something with the government and quarantine.
When is Bane supposed to show up?
Yeah, I thought there's a full episode called like I Am Bane. I thought that it was
At least
earlier.
by then. At least by then.
I thought it was earlier in the season, but I think that's episode like 6 maybe.
Next week then. Next week.
Probably that one is about that. But I thought about that, Sam, during this episode when I just stopped for a second and was like, wait a second. I know nobody can bring them anything, but why can't they leave?
They're two team trying to tunnel. Does that help? There, as in over there, two team trying to tunnel.
All the bridges blew up. Yeah, but I don't know why they can't like
Like
boat
a
them out.
boat,
All the bridges
plane,
blew up. All the bridges blew up.
helicopter.
Because I think the people in Gotham
Boats.
want them to stay in
Boats.
Gotham. Like half the people in Gotham are trying to keep them there and won't let them leave. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer.
Because like you said, like 200 kids just got cooked, and like
Yeah, I think it was like 150 something dead. Like kids dead in Haven. But they can't leave.
I'm not selling to the show. It's like I just
You
get
are, though.
out
You
a
are, though.
little bit.
Yeah,
I'd
you
get
are.
out. I'd get out.
Yeah,
Well, out of-
Danny, you're not making this better.
FEMA should be
me a
working
little
harder.
more.
Yeah, so out of
I
10
don't know.
dead kids, dead, blown up kids.
Or 10 piles of tasty.
This episode was legitimately a 9. It's so good.
That's the highest thing she's rated any of the shows.
Out of everything.
Out of
Thought
everything.
Flash was really good. It's better. I mean, it's different rating
This
scales.
show, but nothing entertains me like this show. Again, I told you can't ask questions, Sam.
Sorry, you're right. Also, because Danny M writes, because anything coming in will get blown up like the helicopter.
I know that coming in, but why can't... I know that
just get that
the
out.
helicopter tried to bring them supplies, and it got shot down.
Shot down. I remember. Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I still don't know why we can't like boat out, swim out. Why we're not spending any time or dedicating any resources to trying to get out.
Oh, there's two teams of people trying to tunnel out under the river.
But why can't we?
That way, could you just get a boat?
I don't know the answer.
Like a speedboat.
Or
jet ski.
maybe like a small
And
raft.
I truly don't care.
baby-
The show has
baby
told me
sharks.
they haven't exactly told me why, but the show has told me we can't leave, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Ah,
Hey,
cool.
I don't. I'm not surveying the situation. Not really sure.
I'm
Gotta
not there,
trust
so
them.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And they tell me you can't leave, just like any good citizen should do. Just listen to your government;
Yeah.
they'll never steer you wrong.
Danny M's just giving up too. He said reasons.
You're right.
Yeah.
Reasons, but 9 out of 10. Sweet piles of tasty meat.
It's so good. It's
So good. Hey, I've heard that they're giving the fans everything they want this season, so God bless them, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm excited to talk about Gifted when it comes back next week. Big question mark.
So just took 1 week off.
I think it's taking a little rest.
Quick
I think it's a little,
nap before the finale.
15 episodes is a lot, gang. You tried doing that with 19 cast members. There's a lot of people.
But why
And
can't they
then
leave Gotham?
We're gonna be
Why-
doing.
Why can't the Gifted? Man, they've been trying to. That's a big head scratcher this season on Gifted.
And
Why?
soon we'll be discussing Doom Patrol.
Oh, I'm so excited about
When does that actually drop for the people?
We will be allowed to share our thoughts on February 11th.
And when does it drop for the people?
I don't know.
Yeah.
After that?
It's in February.
Before that?
Mid-February.
Valentine's Day. What better to
Mid-February.
do with your sweetheart or by yourself, because nothing's wrong with that, than watch Doom Patrol
Yes.
for Valentine's Day?
Hell yeah.
Brought it full circle.
Kayla Marie says, I don't have time for all these shows, man.
Hear ya.
Then you're a coward.
Kayla, that's not true. You're not a coward, and don't let anybody tell you that unless
Except
it's your
Sam.
government telling you you can't leave Gotham, and then be a coward.
There you go. You can be a coward. You can stay right there. Don't
Stay
leave.
there.
Get the meat.
Why can't they leave?
How bad do you guys want the meat? Let us know in the comments down below. It's very important. Sometimes I just watch these reviews to see what's going on with them. That's a great way to do it. Let's pitch it that way.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to watch them because we will for you.
Yeah.
There you go. We got a
that is kind
crossover
of
coming
Sam
up.
and my MO. Like,
Yeah, we got you guys covered. Don't worry. We won't really poo-poo on all of them, but when it's dumb, we'll let you know. But gang, let's do plugs really quick. Roxy, where can they find you?
Everywhere at Roxy Stryer, Sam cheats.
There you go, DJ.
At DJ Talks Trash. Stay tuned. We're working on some exciting stuff, so stay tuned.
There you
Go to
go.
OnlyStupidAnswers.com and Patreon.com. You're already at Patreon.com/OnlyStupidAnswers.
But stay here and maybe check
Yeah.
out the other tiers because we appreciate it. At Sam Basher, everywhere that matters. That's for me and my stuff. I do things. Also, again, I did a little tiny commercial with Jack in the Box. Please go retweet that because if you do that, means I get more to work with them more, and that'd be really cool.
And you tweeted it. You retweeted it from your account.
And I'll
at
tweet
Sam
it out.
Basher, so
That's so cool.
I'll tweet it out myself when I agreed to by contract. So can't do it yet.
And those are the non-technical terms.
Dems the rules.
Yeah.
So, gang, we appreciate you guys. Hope you're liking all these shows. Let us know what you think in the Discord, which you can join via Patreon. We'll see you next time.
bye-bye.
Bye.